And now, the man with the AJ Styles hair and the man with the Jim Neidhart Beard are back for another episode of the Worldwide Wrestling Podcast of Worldwide Wrestling. That's my movie trailer intro.
I feel like there need to be explosions at the end.
Yeah, that would have been sweet. Yes, everybody, we are back for another episode to give our weekly recaps and give our predictions for WWE No Mercy 2017, which is shaping up to be pretty darn good. I'm reasonably excited for it. I think it could be pretty good. Jeremy, anything? Any news or anything fun to share? Or?
Well, not fun. Sad news of Bobby Heenan's passing this week.
Yes.
We both have been grieving over that. He was one of the reasons why I watched wrestling as a kid. His spiels, his one-liners, his attitude, his slapstick. Like, the dude could do anything.
Yeah.
And I think, and I can't remember who said this, but people have said that this dude, if he wasn't in the position he is, if he went the way of Johnny Carson, if he went the way of some of those guys, he could have been a billionaire. Like, the dude was just, he was smart, he was hilarious, his commentating skills were above par. He and Monsoon were, I would say, the best commentary team of all time. He was a great personality for wrestling, and again, he and Monsoon were two of the main reasons why I watch wrestling, is just to listen to them. And I find myself not listening to the commentary now. I just want to look at the action. But with them, even going back and watching some of the old stuff on the network, I listen to them. I even turn him up because I want to hear his words. And he was a comedy genius. He could get heel heat like none other. Again, he was one of my favorite things about wrestling, and he will be missed.
He will, greatly so. And, no disrespect to the great Paul Heyman, but probably the greatest manager of all time.
Yes, sir.
People remember him being on the arm and in the ear of Andre the Giant during his famous heel turn against Hulk Hogan and how that happened. And, that's what I remember mostly too, seeing that in reruns and stuff, and all that, and seeing all the wrestlers on social media and stuff like that pouring out their hearts and sharing stories and taking time out of their day to pay tribute to this guy shows you just how big he was, and important he was to this business, and he really was, man. He, if Paul Heyman, sorry, I feel like I'm getting a cold or something this week. Got a lot of gunk in my throat. Sorry. If Paul Heyman is the Hank Aaron of managers, then Bobby the Brain Heenan was the Babe Ruth. Yep. He was the first guy. He was the first great one. Man, he was awesome, and he will be sorely missed. And it sucks whenever we lose a figure of our childhood like that and stuff like that. But just all the positive outpouring from the wrestling community has been absolutely wonderful, and it shows just how far-reaching and inclusive and like family this the WWE can be. Yeah. As it has its downsides and it's had its dark days. We don't have to go into those. People know, but stuff like this is why stuff like the Connor's Cure, stuff like what they do with Susan G. Komen, stuff they did with, the Warrior, bringing him back and then all that stuff, and everything that they do like that is outstanding, and this is just further proof that the WWE family is just that, and so R.I.P. Bobby the Brain Heenan. All right, now gonna jump right into Raw and SmackDown, or is there anything else?
Nope. Nothing I can think of.
Yeah, I can't think of anything else. Yeah, I can't think of anything else. So, all right then. Well, cool. All right, everybody. Going to talk about Monday Night Raw. I'm going to take the lead on this one, if you don't mind.
Okay.
On Monday Night Raw.
Sounds great.
All right. What did we like? What did we not like? what was good, what wasn't good. Now, personally, the best, one of the best things, if not the best thing, I don't know if it was the best thing, but one of the best things for me was the segment furthering the John Cena Roman Reigns feud. I thought that was really well done. Like, that stuck out in my mind as the thing that happened on Raw right now that I can remember just off the top of my head. Like, I'm sure you'll say something that I'll remember, but that for me was the big thing that I remember, and it was cool to see. Roman had some good jabs. Like, he had some good stuff, and it didn't really seem that out of character for him to do what he was doing. Like, and he keeps saying, like, actions speak louder than words. It's just like he's telling you guys that, like, quit putting a microphone, in his mouth, like and but like he said, like, when I say something, I make sure it has purpose, it has meaning. It's like, yeah, he should say stuff, but it should have purpose, it should have meaning. He shouldn't go on these big, long-winded rap battle speeches like Cena does, because that's not his character. But it was good. It was really, really good. It furthered the feud, and I like how he showed that clip of Cena talking trash about Rock, and it's just like, wow, this is like the exact opposite. This, because now the Samoan guy is, the full-timer who's putting in work, doing all the house shows, and it's John Cena now who is the part-timer who comes back, does all his catchphrases, buries someone, then goes home. It's like, it's genius the way that they did that. I really, really dug that, and I like how he just was like, the result at No Mercy is going to be just like it was at that WrestleMania, except this time John Cena is going to get beat by a different Samoan. And I love how he just goes, so, No Mercy, see you then, movie star, and then he just dropped the mic, and I was just like, nice. Like, I really dug that. What'd you think of that?
Yeah, I think some people might get angry that they keep using the same thing over and over again, but I think the one thing that wrestling teaches us is that nothing is new.
Yeah.
You have to recycle things, especially the good things, especially the things that have worked in the past, but don't do it the same. They did it similar this time, but I thought it worked. I thought it was a well done speech. Yeah, there wasn't anything I would change. I think it was good. I think it was good.
Yeah. I thought it was great. I really liked the tag match. I thought that was awesome. Like, holy crap! Like, that was great. Was that what closed the show? Was that the last thing?
No.
Was that the last match? I can't remember.
I don't remember either.
Yeah, I can't remember what the last match was. But I can't remember.
I remember what closed SmackDown. That's mostly because I saw it today.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. But yeah, I really enjoyed the tag match. Like, if any of you listening to this haven't seen that, go back and watch it because it was really good.
It was Intercontinental. The fatal.
Yeah, the
six-pack challenge.
The six-pack challenge. Yeah. Thank you.
Yep.
Could not remember what was the last one, but yeah, this match was really good. I really liked it. Like, it was the three corners match or whatever, where anybody could tag anybody in. Anderson and Gallows getting the pin over Seth Rollins to win this. I thought that was pretty cool. I think WWE likes them, but they just don't know how to use them right now.
They didn't win.
I thought they did. I thought
Cesaro and Sheamus did.
Oh, they did?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought Anderson and Gallows won.
No, Carl got the pin. Or Carl was pinned, because he's always pinned.
Oh, I didn't know he was. I thought that they pinned Seth Rollins to win. Oh gosh. How did I remember that?
Sheamus pinned Carl Anderson, and then Cesaro did that real leaping jump into Sheamus's arm at the end. That's the only reason why I remember.
Okay, I don't know why I remembered it that way. It's been a crazy couple of days, folks. Anyways, yeah, the match was good. Despite the fact I couldn't remember how it finished, the match was good. What about you? What did you like and what did you not like?
My favorite thing was the tag match. I want them to do more of this kind of thing. I want them, because I just watched Raw '96, the first one of the year. It was the Raw Bowl, and it was a similar situation where they had 4 teams instead of 3. I want them to do more of those kind of things because it's different. We don't get to see that very often.
Yeah.
I like that mechanic where a team can tag anybody in. I liked the match. It was very, very well done. So there's nothing more that I can say about it. I enjoyed that match. I want more of that. The other thing I liked what you said, or what we said already about Roman's speech. That was good. I'm trying to think of what the other thing. The Miz was good. Mostly. He did have a slip up. That was pretty funny. He couldn't remember his lines, and then he stopped, and then he kept on going. It was pretty funny. But those are, I mean, the tag match was the best thing about the night, in my opinion. As far as things I didn't like, I didn't care for the women's stuff, mostly because it didn't make sense to me. Why would two face come out to beat up a heel? That's a heel move. It doesn't make. Why would they do that? It doesn't make sense unless they're gonna turn them. If they do a heel face turn, which Alexa kind of has been doing a little bit with those two being a face. I would like to see that. I would like to see a Nia Jax face and Alexa face to, make them best friends and then basically ruin all these people's lives. but anyway, it didn't make sense to me. Bayley coming out and Sasha coming out to attack Nia. I didn't like that. I didn't care for the Intercontinental for number one contender match. It wasn't as good
the six pack.
Yeah.
The only thing I liked about it was the Hardy Boys back and forth with each other.
That I agree with.
The planting of seeds, so to speak, with that. That's about the only thing I liked from this.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
The match itself, you're right. It was not special. It was not that great.
Yeah, and I absolutely didn't understand nor like. I do have one other thing that I liked. I did not like Braun Strowman coming out attacking Enzo. Because mostly what that's done is saying, hey, we hate Enzo, let's just beat him up every week.
That was stupid too, yeah.
Unless Enzo wins the Cruiserweight title this weekend. I mean, that's the only way that makes sense.
Let me say something, though, that would have been awesome.
Okay.
Thank you for bringing that up, because it sparked something that I was going to bring up, but I forgot. So thank you for that. When he came out and just beat up Enzo, it was typical, just like, hey, he has backstage heat, so we're going to make him look like an idiot at all costs. It's just very juvenile. Yes, he's in the back being a jerk and stuff like that. He's doing he's living his gimmick. We get that. You guys have had a talk with him. It seems like he's trying to get better. Who knows? I don't know. But just constantly, week in, week out, he has backstage heat. Let's just do this. It's like, it's juvenile. Like, seriously. Like, if you worked at, I don't know, a gas station, all right, and you were kind of a jerk, and, you were you had a big mouth and stuff like that, and, they made you clean the toilets every single day, and then every time you got done cleaning the toilets, like, they, went, they went into the bathroom, and then just, made it all dirty again, or something like that. Like, it's just, it's just very stupid juvenile. But the thing I liked, Neville, when he demolished Enzo and then was walking back, Neville came out. And they kind of had a crossing of paths, and Neville was kind of just like, I'm not going to mess with you kind of thing. I didn't like that. I thought it would have been so hardcore and cool if he just, walked by and, stared down Braun Strowman and just kind of, was looking at him as he was walking, and then kept walking, almost like he didn't, it didn't faze him, like he wasn't afraid. I thought that would have been cool. Because that's a matchup, not for the Cruiserweight title, obviously, but that would be an interesting matchup, those two. And so I think that would have been cool if he just walked out and was just like, yeah, I'm the king of the Cruiserweights, but I'm afraid of no one. Just kind of walking by and looking at him all hardcore. That would have been sweet.
And not only would have been sweet, it would have given credence to the Cruiserweight title.
Yeah.
Cruiserweight champion who has, the guy who has the belt, looking into the face of a guy who will eventually become Universal champion. Why make him, like you said, why make him skirt around him?
Yeah, how he just put his hands up hey, I don't want to fight you, bud. He should have just trucked on by, maybe not even paid attention to him, just walked by him.
Just walk by him.
Or just kind of give him that 1,000-yard stare as he's walking by, and then just focus back on Enzo.
Yeah.
That was just, I thought that was a little weird. I was just that just seems so off model for him, because he hasn't shown any flaws really, Neville, and he's, people really like him even though he's a heel.
Yep.
People really like him because he's awesome.
Because he's heel Neville. Heel Neville is good. It's good Neville.
Heel Neville is the best Neville, man.
Yep.
And he has just, like I keep saying, he has been the shot in the arm that cruiserweight division needed. And so I feel like you said, it would have brought credence, it would have brought some reverence to the title if he just walked by and was just like, I'm not afraid of you.
Yeah.
Because it would have been like, whoa, that dude's hard. Like, he doesn't care. Like, he just stared down Braun Strowman. But, so yeah, like, I thought that was a misstep there. Like, because, yeah, I get they're trying to build up, and they have been, and, well, he's this, abominable monster nobody can stop. Sort of just all the previous, Kane, Taker, the Giant back in WCW, and then, of course, Andre. They've kind of taken, all those models and stuff like that, and just pick and chose the best things, and then put them all together and rebrandish it in its own unique way and made something that's really awesome.
Yep.
So, I get that, but I think it would have done, you're not asking him to job to Neville, you're just asking, it would have just, it wouldn't have made Braun look bad, it would have made Neville look good. So,
yep.
Anyways, that was just the thing that I had.
Yeah, and they could have played it off where Braun would be like, whatever, type face or something, but the only other thing that I really enjoyed was Brock Lesnar talking.
That whole thing was good.
I thought that was funny. Just him very intellectually talking to Braun, and then getting ready to leave, and then comes back and then says what he says, and it's like, that's funny. I really thought that was funny. The interview stuff was okay. Apparently it was
I liked it all.
Apparently it was taped last week or something.
Oh, okay.
Because Brock wasn't there at Raw.
Okay.
And so yeah, it was taped a week ago or whatever, but it was still funny.
It was.
I thought it was
I really liked it, and I like how Paul reached his hand out and then said something, and then brought his hand back, and then put his other hand on Brock's shoulder and said, "Pardon my reach."
Yeah.
Those little things is why Paul is so great. Just those little, like that one time he's like, that's what I do as a manager. That's what I do as a Jew. Those little things those little things he does. I died laughing at that. Where he's just excuse me, Michael Cole, or Corey, whoever it was. I think it was Corey, or I can't remember who it was.
Michael Cole.
I can't remember who it was. I think it was Michael. He's just like, excuse me, Mr. Cole, but my client, pardon my reach, and just because he leaned forward and reached over. Just that whole thing was good, and it, but yeah, you're absolutely right about Brock Lesnar. That's a good point. The way he just, was very articulate in saying how he was going to defeat him and stuff. He's like, oh yeah, Suplex City,
I thought that was funny.
It was good.
Yeah, but other than that, did I think Raw was a good go-home show? Yes. There wasn't a whole lot that I was like, oh, that was really, really good. Outside of Roman's dialogue and the triple threat match with the tag teams. Other than that, it was okay. I didn't care for the Intercontinental title match at the end. I will say that every time I would see The Miz on screen, I kept thinking, is this Brother Love? Because he looked like Brother Love. The hair was all Brother Love. The white jacket, the sunglasses, that was Brother Love. And I'm like, come on, man. Just paint yourself red for a little bit, and you'd be Brother Love. But yeah, as far as that goes, there wasn't a whole lot. Do I think it was a pretty decent go-home show? Yes, like I said. But it could have been a bit better. The women's stuff could have been better.
It could have.
I don't know. What were your final thoughts?
Yeah, the women's stuff I didn't mind that much, but it was puzzling. I didn't hate it, but I really didn't get it, or was like, yeah, woohoo about it. It just was. Yeah, the main event. I don't think there was doubt in anyone's mind Jason Jordan would win. He's a guy WWE apparently really, really likes right now, and they should, because he's good and he has enthusiasm, and putting him with Kurt Angle in this long lost son angle, no pun intended, I thought was a good move. I think it's actually been a really good move doing that. And yeah, but the match just was there's nothing really that great about it besides the Hardy Boys clashes in it. Like,
yeah, I thought Elias was good in it.
Yes.
Other than that, and the Hardy Boys attacking each other, that was really funny.
Like, I loved everything with the Hardys, like the kind of seeds that they've been subtly planting and stuff with them. I like, and yeah, you're right. Elias did do a really good job. Before that, I can't really think of anything else. Like I said, the Roman thing. I thought that was really, really well done. Like, I really liked that. Thought they did a great job. Enjoyed that quite a bit. And the stuff with Hardy's and the stuff with Brock that you brought up was good. We watched the Hulu. For some reason, they didn't have the Finn Balor stuff on there.
Yeah, they didn't have that on there.
They didn't have any of the Finn and Bray stuff, really. So that was a big letdown.
Yep.
Because I forgot to set it to tape Monday, so I had to wait and watch it on Hulu. But so yeah, overall letter grade, what would you give this Raw?
I think I would give it a B minus. But as a go home show, it was serviceable. I enjoyed that aspect of it, but there was just so much that I was just like, I don't really care about. So yeah, I'd probably B minus. What about you?
I was probably gonna give it a B or a B minus. Like, just now thinking about it, I am gonna stoop down and give it the B minus because it was a decent go home show. It does get me excited, and there wasn't anything super bad about it. But not having John Cena or Brock Lesnar in the building for the go home show was a little disappointing.
Well, John was overseas doing shows.
Like, having Cena not there worked for Roman's promo.
Yep.
So I'll be willing to give that a pass. But not having Brock and Braun to have one big last clash before the match to build up a lot of heat, that's a big problem for me. And the main event match wasn't that good, but the tag match was spectacular. So I think I would give it a B minus also. As a go home show, it was decent. It was serviceable. But as just a regular edition of Raw, it could have been a lot better. So yeah, B minus from the both of us.
All right. SmackDown Live. What were the things I enjoyed about it? I liked Shane coming out and being brief. He said what he needed to say, and it was good. I liked what else did I like? I wasn't like, I really didn't care for the show. I found myself not really paying attention at times.
Yeah, it's good this wasn't a go home show.
Yeah, and I like what they're doing with Dolph, like just him coming out and bringing all of those things. This week was the clique, essentially the DX clique.
Yeah.
Which was really fun to watch.
Two dads act like they're cool and laugh at their corny jokes. That was funny.
He said a lot of funny things. Can I run NXT now? That was hilarious.
That was brilliant.
He was really funny this week, and so for that, like, he was my favorite. I think he was my favorite thing about SmackDown Live. The women's, was it number one contender? Yeah, number one contender match was serviceable. It was the last match of the night. It was serviceable. There wasn't a whole lot of bad things about it, but
seemed to me to finally do the Superfly splash was pretty awesome.
Yes, that was true. I was like, oh, she do it? Yeah, she did it. You know what? It was better than I think.
Like, I liked it more than you. Like, I really enjoyed it.
I think it was just short. I think that's probably my problem with it. It could have been a better match. Like, they could have the last 20 minutes of the show could have just been this match, and it would have been better.
Yeah.
Better off that way. But I know they needed to get a lot of stuff in, even though they really shouldn't have done that this week. They should have left Kevin for next week. Shane coming back in was fine. I'm really interested in seeing what they do with Ryder and Mojo Rawley.
Yeah.
Like, that whole backstage thing, like, Mojo actually was convincing to me, and he hasn't been. So I hope they change, and I hope they do something good with him.
I hope they turn heel and get hardcore.
I liked Usos on the mics.
Ooh, yeah.
This week. They did a really good job. I didn't really care for the match because it was quick and that wasn't the point of the whole segment.
The only thing I liked was, like you said, Usos on commentary, and then Mojo turning around the butt slap thing, the Big E did, and saying he ain't hyped. Yeah. He ain't hyped. That was good. That was cute. I like that.
I like that Ty Dillinger came out and attack Baron Corbin. I like that. But again, we still didn't get a match.
Yeah.
What else? What else happened?
Do you think that this is going to be move into a Ty Dillinger Baron Corbin feud now?
I think it'll be a side feud because I think it'll eventually get back to Baron Corbin and AJ Styles at a pay-per-view or something. I think aren't their names part of the Starrcade?
I think it's
event?
Three-way, isn't it? Those three guys? Aren't they in a three-way?
I can't remember.
At the Starrcade.
I think you're right. We'll look that up in a little bit. Yeah, I can't think of anything else. What about you, SmackDown Live?
All the stuff you said, I did like the women's match a little better than you. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was good. I liked what they did with Randy and Rusev.
Yes, Rusev was awesome.
Rusev was hilarious. Like I liked the match. It was not really like it was kind of short, but it was well done. The match with him and Aiden English. And mid-air RKO, awesome.
That was a good moment.
That was cool. And then Rusev came out, and then he got like a 10-second victory over Randy Orton, which was that was cool that they kind of got that back because they had to cut their SummerSlam match down. And I love how he just and then I love when he's backstage and she's like, "You seem elated." He goes, "What does elated mean?" And she's just like, "It means you're excited." He goes, "Yes, I am excited. I'll go back to Bulgaria, a hero." Rusev #1 or whatever he's like.
And he got
Rusev #1.
And he got that over.
Rusev #1.
He got that over pretty fun.
That was great, man.
Keep this Rusev up because I think comedy stuff is where he is going to thrive. It's funny
because people like him, and he does do the Nikita Koloff, Ivan Volkov, how dare you Americans, kind of Cold War thing well. But he's such a nice guy, and in reality, and he seems like such. Like a funny guy, as evident as his role in the Southpaw Regional Wrestling and stuff, that I'm just like, keep him like this. How he's just like, he wants to face all these people, to prove he's the Bulgarian, he's the national hero of Bulgaria and stuff like that. So he's like, and then he wins and he's like, yes, Rusev, #1. Like, it was beautiful. I loved it.
I agree.
Keep it up. Like, it was fantastic.
Yeah.
So I'm interested where they're going to go with if this is the payoff between him and Orton, or if it's going to continue with him, or what the deal is. But at this moment, I'm not really concerned or care about that because this was so much fun. I just loved that backstage. Like, what does elated mean? It means excited. Yes, I am excited. Rusev #1. Like, it was just so.
What does elated mean?
It was so great. Like, just it was hilarious, and absolutely the stuff with Dolph was probably tied with the Rusev thing as my favorite of the night. It was great, and I just love that. That was so, and like he had like when he came out and did the Triple H thing, like he did it well, like the stance and the jacket and everything he did, like it was perfect, And then when he came out and did HBK, and then he came out and did DX, and he's just like, yeah, that's what you love more than me, two 50-year-old dads, who. Trying to stay cool, and you're gonna laugh at their corny jokes. Like, just that whole thing was funny. Like, yeah, that absolutely was great. And the stuff with Kevin was weird. Honestly, I thought it was a little weird.
Yeah, his last statement was
like
kind of dumb.
It was just so silly how he's just like, you're gonna take me to hell. People like me don't go to hell. People like me go to heaven. And I thought he was gonna say something else, but he just ended it right there. I'm just like. Okay, that was such a weird place to end it.
I don't know if it was just me, but he sounded very French Canadian. Like I know he is.
Yeah.
But he was very French Canadian sounding. I felt like I was listening to the Mountie. To be all honest with you.
He was trained by the Mountie, Jacques Rougeau. So
I'm sure he was. I'm sure that's probably where he got all that stuff. But his voice was just very French Canadian. And not that I hated that. So I apologize, Kevin, if you ever hear this. You won't. But. I don't mean any negativity. It's just when you slow down, that comes out.
Yeah, but it was very odd. It wasn't bad. It was just odd. It was just kind of like very weird the way. But yeah, I like how serious and determined Shane was. That was I liked all that. That was cool. But yeah, the stuff I liked AJ's promo before Corbin came out. That was really, really good. What did he call it? Shortcut Corbin or something?
Shortcut Corbin. Yeah.
That was funny. Yeah, I really, really liked.
He takes a shortcut. Fail.
Yeah, and that was all great, and I love how he's keeping up the whole SmackDown Live is the house that AJ Styles built, because it is.
This iteration is.
This ever since he came over, when it was rebranded as SmackDown Live during the brand split last year, it has been the house that AJ Styles built, and so all that was good. I liked this. It was kind of goofy and kind of hackney and very old school, but the stuff with Charlotte and Natalya, it was, like I said, very cheesy and silly and very old school and hackney, but I liked it. It was just it was funny. It made me dislike Natalya, which it was probably meant to do, and make Charlotte look more like a face, which she basically is a full-fledged one now.
Yeah, I liked what Becky came out. You're the craziest there is, the craziest there was, the craziest there ever will be. I thought that was really funny.
Becky Lynch, so hot right now. Becky Lynch.
What did you think of Jinder and his xenophobic? People would call xenophobic.
Yeah, it was very.
I don't. It's not xenophobic in my opinion. I think if you get offended by something like that, he's doing it for a purpose.
Yeah.
He's not doing it. He's not being serious about things. He's just being silly.
Yeah, and he's a bad guy.
He's a bad guy.
And yeah, like if somebody gets offended with that, he was kind of making fun of the whole, people, Japanese people who's, English is their second language have trouble saying
the L's.
The L's, they say them like R's, so that's that's a thing. And I get, people are like, oh, you can't normalize making fun of racial things like that, but it's like, he's a bad guy though. Like John Cena's not doing that. Roman Reigns isn't doing that. It's like he's a bad guy, and they're showing him being hypocritical and making, because he's like, oh, you Americans, you're so jingoistic, and you're xenophobic, and you hate, people who are, full-blooded white European, descendant, whatever, and stuff. And it's showing his villainous side by showing that he's a hypocrite and stuff like that.
And I think one of the things that people might say, well, it normalizes, it makes that okay. No, what it shows is all of us have, not all of us, but there are cultures who are racist against other cultures.
Yeah. Not
just whites against whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I say that mostly because my wife, who is white, experienced it during, in the place she works, with the person who trying to think of how to say this without saying what happened. The person who was the leader of this place was an African American woman. She very much didn't like my wife and caused her a lot of pain, and so it happens. Like not all of us, we can get over these xenophobic ideas. We can not. I mean, we can stop being racist if we want to. But the problem is, I think what they're pointing out is that not only do whites do this, but so do every culture. Every culture hates, not every culture, but you know what I mean. You know what I'm trying to say. Like, there is tendencies towards this in every culture.
Yeah.
Not that everybody in that culture is a racist.
Yes. Yes.
So what they've done is show that there are tendencies not just among white American people, which I think is fine.
Yeah. And like we keep saying, he's a bad guy. So this makes him seem like a jerk. And it makes Shinsuke look even better, which people love Shinsuke. So this, and I just love how, Shinsuke, they're like, very funny, but not so funny. Because I will take that WWE Championship. And then just walked away. So he's like, he's taking the high road. He's the high road hero here. Who's, not sniping back. He's the guy who's just gonna be like, I'm gonna let my actions speak, and I'm going to endure and overcome. You just watch.
And that's
very Jackie Robinson like.
Yeah, and that's the point. Is we need to not listen to people who are xenophobic. We not need to listen to people who hate other people. Just exactly like you said, like Jackie Robinson, who was African American in a white game at the time, and came out and was like, I'm gonna do what I do best. And exactly what Shinsuke did is he's going to do what he does best. I think he's gonna lose, which is sad. But yeah. Anything else about SmackDown Live?
I don't think so.
Okay. What grade would you give it?
I think SmackDown I would give just a regular B, because the stuff I liked about it I thought was pretty good. And I usually go in with a B. Like, I'm going in with a B mindset.
Yeah.
For both shows. And then I will add or subtract depending on what. And I thought this had enough good stuff and enough maybe not good or bad stuff, but things that got me interested, like what happened with Hype Bros backstage. Oh, excuse me. That really got me interested.
Yes. Yeah, that's a great point.
All the stuff that happened with the women and the match, which I really did enjoy. I'm giving that an up. AJ on the mic before the match, that was good. Ty Dillinger coming in, that was good. The stuff that Shane said, that was good. Like, and especially Dolph and the Rusev #1. So like, all that stuff I really, really liked, or it got me really, really interested. There's nothing really bad that stood out to me, so I would give it a B. It's nowhere near A territory. I hope that when they get closer to Hell in a Cell, they get better and the momentum picks up and it builds to a big crescendo on the Go Home show. Mm-hmm. But this had enough good stuff that I enjoyed it. So.
I think I'd give it not a B plus, but closer to a B plus than a middle B, because of everything you just said. You made me think about it, and you're right. There isn't anything that I was just like, I wish they would have done that this week, and so yeah, I'll give it a B as well.
All right, cool. Well, that was our weekly recaps for Monday Night Raw and SmackDown Live. Now we have our predictions for the upcoming Raw pay-per-view, No Mercy. No Mercy. Everybody, that song is by Kit. Please go download that song legally if you can. It's a fantastic song. Support this guy. He's a good artist. Anyways, there's my plug for you, Kit. So we're going to go back and forth like we always do, match for match, give our prediction as to who's going to win and why. And then we will talk about this next week after the pay-per-view is done. So, Jeremy, first match on the card. Who's going to win and why?
All right. We're taking this from Wikipedia and we're doing bottom up because the first match was probably going to be their main event. So with the bottom match on Wikipedia, we got The Miz versus Jason Jordan for the Intercontinental Championship. I have The Miz because it doesn't make sense that Jason Jordan wins. I think Jason Jordan is a phenomenal talent, but it is too soon for him to be a champion in the singles realm. And so I think this will go back and forth a bit. And I think they want The Miz to actually break the record of days. So that's what I think. I think The Miz is going to win. What about you?
Yeah, I agree. Jason Jordan's not ready for that, I don't think. I think he just needs a bit more character development. Mm-hmm. And stuff like his in-ring work doesn't need anything. No. It's fantastic. And, he seems like a really good dude, and he's a really good wrestler, but I just think he needs more time to develop and build some character before they just give him the title. And The Miz is just, amazing right now. So, yeah, he should have that title forever as far as I'm concerned.
So, the next match, I don't remember them making it a Fatal 5-Way. Did they do that on Monday night? It's apparently a Fatal 5-Way.
Yeah, it was just like one quick throwaway thing, but they did. They did mention that, yeah.
I must have missed it. Anyway, Fatal 5-Way for the Raw Women's Championship. It's Alexa Bliss versus Sasha Banks versus Bayley versus Nia Jax versus Emma. Caleb, who you got and why?
I don't know.
Yep, I agree.
If I had to pick, which I do because that's what we're doing. That was stupid. I would probably pick Alexa. I think Alexa might retain. I mean, Bayley's back, which is awesome. I don't know. I can't tell what direction they want to go right now with this. Having Sasha beat Alexa for the title at SummerSlam, and then winning it back like a day later or a week later or whatever it was. I think it was like a week later. That was stupid and entirely pointless and didn't need to happen. You and I thought that was stupid. So I don't know. Why just have her lose it again on another pay-per-view to this? And I don't know. It just doesn't make sense to have her not be the champion right now until they find something concrete that could work. But I don't know. I'm rolling with Alexa.
Yeah, I think so too. I think Alexa will win. I can see a case where Sasha and Bayley, Sasha might pin Bayley or Bayley might pin Sasha to turn them heel. But I think Alexa will win because I think eventually Nia Jax will be champion. Because remember, we've got Asuka coming. And so I don't know who they've got or who they want Asuka to face, but I'm assuming they would want to face somebody like Nia Jax, who will actually give her a quote-unquote run for her money. So I think Alexa will win. I think the next feud will be Alexa and Nia. I think they'll get a proper run. Emma, I wish was in there, but
yeah,
she needs to go SmackDown. Emma needs to go SmackDown.
Yeah,
for some depth of their women's division right now. But anyway, Alexa wins, in my opinion, and Caleb's. All right, the Cruiserweight Championship: Neville versus Enzo Amore. Who do I got? I got Neville. They're still trying to make the Cruiserweight title mean something and have it being held as long as it does, or as long as it is the best thing for it. I can probably make a case for Enzo to win, but I think Neville will win. What about you?
I think Neville will win also. I would like to see Enzo become Cruiserweight champ someday. I think that'd be awesome, but I think, and I think he will be the one to beat Neville for it, but I think for right now, Neville needs to hold on to it as long as possible and have the title change if you do want to make Enzo the babyface of the Cruiserweight division.
But they're not. He is winning by like a heel.
Oh, he is. Okay.
He won by tight pull, pin, and so they're making him as a heel. To be honest, there's not a whole lot of babyface cruiserweights, and if they are, it's like Cedric Alexander is the only babyface cruiserweight right now. It seems anyway. But I would agree with you. If they make him face, that would be nice for him to win. But
yeah, I think that if they do that, where he, is the guy to beat Neville and stuff, I don't think it should happen here at No Mercy. I think it should happen at a bigger one, so it has, a little more oomph to it and stuff. But yeah, I think it will be Neville. I don't see him losing it anytime soon.
Yep. All right, next match we got is Finn Balor versus Bray Wyatt. Who do you got and why?
I have Bray Wyatt. I think, I don't know. I don't know why. I just feel like it. I can't really explain it. I just feel like it will be Bray. Since it's man-to-man match. Bray's not going to do any of his tricks, and Finn's not the Demon King. So I think I think Bray will win. So.
Yep, I agree. I think this needs at least one more match to make it over, to make it done. And I think you're right. I think Bray will win it. Yeah, there's no reason. Just I think Bray will win it. All right, next match we have is the Tag Team Championship match. Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins versus Cesaro and Sheamus.
The bar. They're tight to say that now, which is awesome.
Yeah. I want Cesaro and Sheamus to win it because I'm really really high on Cesaro and Sheamus. They have a rapport and they mix really well with each other. I really like them, but I think Dean and Seth will retain. What about you?
Yeah, I think that Cesaro and Sheamus, I think the Bar can do no wrong right now. I think that they are the tag team scene on Raw, since Uso and New Day pretty much run that yard.
And the Revival's hurt
over there, and the Revival, yeah.
Hopefully when they come back, the Revival will stay healthy. But I know a lot of it's not necessarily their fault, to be honest.
Yeah, I would I think that Seth and Dean probably will retain. Just nothing wrong with that, but Cesaro and Sheamus are just the top, of the tag team totem pole. I think so. That's what I think.
Right.
I think Seth and Dean will win, but I would prefer that Cesaro and Sheamus get them back.
Okay. John Cena versus Roman Reigns. Who do you got and why?
I hope, I think, and it should be Roman Reigns who wins.
Yep.
I think that unless they have a bigger storyline in place where they captain teams at SummerSlam and Roman prevails, and then they have a big blow-off at the Rumble that has championship implications, maybe they face off, they're not allowed to fight in the Royal Rumble, so they have to fight, and the winner, faces Brock Lesnar for the title at Mania. That's the only way I'm okay with John Cena winning at this, is if, Roman gets his due, over Cena in a, like I said, the Survivor Series tag match where they captain teams, and then, at the Rumble, where, they have them face off, and the winner will go on to Mania to face Brock Lesnar. And I know a lot of people, for whatever reason, are just like, we don't want Roman and Brock at WrestleMania, blah, blah, blah. It's like you and I are warming up to that more and more because of everything that's been happening with the Universal title scene over the past several months.
Yeah, they've been building that well.
So, I mean, if they did a triple threat with Samoa Joe, what about that? People would be interested in it then. But then if Roman won, people wouldn't like that. So, but I mean, I feel like if Brock is not going to re-sign after Mania, then he should, do the honors for Roman at Mania if that's what they still want to do.
Yep.
But you and I are still on board for it. So, that's the only way I'd be okay with John Cena winning here. If this is the only match or one of only two matches, 50-50 booking can be okay, but in this instance, I think nothing will get solved, nothing will get done. It just means that Cena gets another win if they do 50-50 here. I think it should be Roman. I think, his time, is here, and Cena's time is becoming less and less. So it would just be, it would just make no sense unless, the thing I said. So, yeah.
Yep, I think Roman should win. It would make sense. I don't know what John's Transformer schedule will be, because that's what he's going to be making next. So I don't know. I mean, I think Roman should win. It would make sense, especially since they've alluded to the last match with John and Rock. I think Roman should win. It just makes sense in everything that they've been telling, everything that they're doing. You made the case for the Survivor Series. Yeah, maybe. But I think for me as well that would be the only way that John, if he wins this, that at the bigger pay-per-view.
I mean, he just doesn't need it. He doesn't need this win. He doesn't.
And Roman doesn't either. But the way they're building Roman to face Brock,
Roman hasn't won a pay-per-view match since WrestleMania.
Oh.
So I think he needs this a lot more than John Cena does.
Or, if they're going to do it that way, maybe he does lose until Survivor Series. You're making a good case for a Survivor Series win over a smaller No Mercy win. I don't know. I think Roman Reigns should win, but I guess we'll find out. All right. Last match, Universal title. Brock Lesnar versus Braun Strowman. Who do I got? Is it your turn? My turn? I don't remember.
It's yours.
Okay. Sorry. A little tired today.
Yeah.
Brock. I don't see him dropping it until Mania. I think this match could be good because the Brock Samoa Joe match was really good. If they can do something similar, still to make Braun look strong, and I think that's what the rumors are. They want to do something to make Brock look as strong as possible and still lose, which that could be disqualification. That could be, I don't know what it could be, but
yeah, like he could maybe like do an F5 on the announce table and then jump back in right before the count so he retains by count out or something.
Something.
Yeah.
Something will happen. Brock Lesnar will win regardless. What do you got?
Yeah, I have Brock Lesnar. Yeah. I don't see him losing. The Samoa Joe match was pretty good. The main event at SummerSlam was awesome. That was great. So yeah, I hope that they make each other look good. And I think that Brock, I think you mentioned it in the Survivor or the SummerSlam main event. You're like, Brock is a really good team player in that match, and then he was a really good participant in the Samoa Joe one and stuff, and he seems much more game for doing stuff now than he had been. Yeah. He seems a lot more game. So hopefully they do something really awesome here, and it's just all out chaos. Like I hope they make it no holds barred or something, or I don't know. I don't know if no holds barred would do, but I don't know. I hope they do something, So yeah, I'm really excited for it. Those are two big money matches that and I talked about last week, on the Edge and Christian podcast. Edge was just like, it bothers me that it's just at No Mercy. Why not wait until at least SummerSlam or until Survivor Series and stuff like that? It's just like, it makes this pay-per-view seem bigger. It's gonna make it a must-see. No Mercy last year was awesome. That was both of our best show of the year.
Yep.
Because it had the triple threat main event between Dean, Cena, and AJ, which was awesome, and Randy and Bray, which was good, and then Ziggler Miz, which was match of the night, stuff like. So they have a big they have a big plate.
They do.
In front of them, and they have some big shoes to fill from last year's No Mercy, and it seems like they're trying with what's going on. So I can't wait to see those two matches, man, especially. So, well, any final thoughts? Any recommendations for me or anybody out there? Or
no, I think I said it in the beginning. I would go watch the Raw Bowl. I think it's the first Raw of 2016 or 2016, 1996. It's a fun match to watch. It's an interesting match to watch. I wouldn't watch the whole show because it's weird and it's old. But that match, and outside of Sid Justice or Sid Vicious or Psycho Sid, I think it's Psycho Sid here, whichever iteration of Sid. Outside of him, everybody in this match was really good. Like I came into 1996 not really caring about the Smoking Guns, but after that match and after the match that they had with the Body Donnas at the Royal Rumble 96, they're growing on me, especially Billy. I know he's going to spin off eventually into his own thing with DX and the New Age Outlaws and such. So I'm looking forward to that eventually. But yeah, I would go watch the January 1st, 1996. Gosh, can't get my year straight. 1996, the first Raw of the year. Watch that Raw Bowl. It's really fun to watch.
All right. Cool, everybody. Thanks for stopping by for our weekly recaps and No Mercy predictions. Cannot wait to see what happens this weekend. Should be some good wrestling, I hope.
See.
All right, everybody. Thanks for stopping by for the podcast. We'll see y'all next week.
Peace.